An Arab diplomatic source has told I-24 News that a hostage ceasefire deal is expected to be announced 1 to 2 days before or after Trump's January 2nd inauguration. Joining us now in studio is I-24 News Middle East correspondent Ariel Osaran, who got this information. Please tell us more of what you were able to find out.
Right, so the January 20th inauguration, it's next week, and ahead of that, Arab diplomatic source with close knowledge to the Gaza ceasefire talks tells me today that we should expect an announcement regarding Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal either 1 or 2 days before or after that January 20th inauguration. The source said that this would be a phased deal, not a comprehensive agreement, which will see the release of 34 hostages in the first phase in exchange for the release of a significant amount of Palestinian security prisoners. The source stated that the breakthrough in the talks occurred just in the past 4 or 5 days after Israel began showing seriousness in the talks. But even more recently, I-24 News has learned from a source in Hamas's Gaza leadership that an announcement regarding reaching a significant breakthrough, even a framework of this deal, is expected to come in the coming hours by the 3 mediators, a joint announcement by the United States, Qatar, and Egypt. Now, this Hamas source in Gaza stated that the terror group agreed to allow Israeli forces to hold a buffer zone of 500 to 700 meters in 6 points around the Strip, including the Philadelphia corridor, that is the border between the Gaza Strip and Egypt. The 7th point in central Gaza's Dik will be 1 kilometer wide. Now, these are really a flurry of indications that we're receiving from our sources. Now, the Hamas source added that Israel has agreed to allow the return of displaced Gazans to their homes, including in northern Gaza. That was a significant sticking point in the negotiations until now. The source added that the Rafah border crossing that was closed by Egypt once Israel seized the Philadelphia corridor will reopen on the 7th day of the agreement to allow the exit of severe humanitarian medical cases to exit for treatment through Israeli and Egyptian coordination. No Palestinian involvement, not Hamas, not the PA. The source added, divulging quite a bit of information regarding the release of the hostages and the exchange of Palestinian security prisoners. So for every so-called humanitarian hostage, those are women, elderly, and the sick. Mainly in the first phase, there will be 30 prisoners released for each one of those Israeli hostages. The 5 female soldiers who are held hostage, the observers that we reported at length about, they will be released in exchange for prisoners with life sentences, men between the ages of 18 and 50. This was a category that Hamas did not agree to include in the deal, or at least in the initial phases. They will be released in exchange for prisoners with extended sentences. Now, Israel has vetoed the release of 100 top senior Palestinian prisoners, leaders of the terror groups, for example, Marwan Barghouti or Ahmad Saadat. And senior prisoners who are released will be deported to either Turkey or Qatar, whereas prisoners, security prisoners who were apprehended in the recent period, they will be released to their homes in the West Bank or Gaza.